45, 45, 90 triangles. And we're going to figure out what the adjacent and the opposite sides are on this unit circle to figure out what the coordinate of that point is right there. So if this is 45 degrees, and we know on a unit circle that this is 1 right here, we need to figure out what this is. Well, we can use Pythagorean theorem. Let's review. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. We know this. We know that. And we also know something about geometry. 45 triangles means that if this is also 45, then this side equals this side, because it's called an isosceles right triangle. The way that you would do this, though, is instead of this, instead of calling this C and this A and this B, I can't do that. I'm going to call this A, and since it's equal, I'm going to call this A. So it's essentially A squared plus A squared equals C squared. So check that out. A squared equals C squared. Does that make sense? I mean, these two are the same. And when this angle is different than 45, you have to have a different variable here because it's going to be different. But since they're the same, you can use the same variable. Now watch what happens. I'm gonna leave this. It's an A, and then I'll put 1 squared there. So A squared plus A squared is 2A squared equals 1. Now 1 times 1 is 1. Here I'll divide by 2. Dividing by 2, and that will cancel that. And A squared will equal 1/2. Now, we will have to square root this. So we'll square root both sides, all right? So that, remember from yesterday, that's the square root of 1 over the square root of 2. And the square root of 1 means what number times itself is 1? Well, that's 1 over the square root of 2. Now I'm going to take this, bring it down here, and simplify that. Because you know you can't leave a radical in the denominator. So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by radical 2, just like the other day. And so that would be on bottom 2, and on the top 1 times radical 2, which is just radical 2. And we're leaving it like this, no decimals. So this is going to be radical 2 over 2, and this is going to be equal to radical 2 over 2, because they're the same. So the coordinate of this point on your unit circle will be radical 2 over 2 for each one, because they're the same. And I want you to know how to do that. Don't just memorize it. It's better to be able to do that than to try to memorize something. You guys have a good one.